Hi, 7th graders. We're on lesson 3-7, which starts on page 173 with learning targets, graphing points on a coordinate plane, and calculating the distance between 2 points on a coordinate plane. Remember to have your vocab sheet out as well as your notebook ready to take notes. So as you've learned in the past, in 6th grade and probably even before 6th grade maybe, about graphing points on a plane or a coordinate graph, or sometimes called a coordinate grid. Okay, if you remember the parts of our grid, the x and y axis are the lines running through it. So the x-axis is the horizontal one, and the y-axis is the vertical we could say number line. So x-axis, y-axis. The origin is where the two lines meet, which is also the point of origin is 0, 0, because you're at x on 0 and y at 0. So all this starts at 0. And then there's 4 quadrants, and it starts here and goes counterclockwise. So quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. Okay? Quadrant 1, x is positive and y is positive. Quadrant 2, x is negative, y is positive. Quadrant 3, x is negative, y is negative. Quadrant 4, x is positive, y is negative. So this side of x from 0 to this side is positive. From 0 to this side is negative because it's like a number line, or it is a number line. Starting at 0, to the right is positive, to the left is negative. Same goes for y. Top of 0 is positive on the y-axis. Bottom of 0 is negative on the y-axis. Okay, so let's look at some points. So in a second here, I want you to pause me and figure out what all these points are for A, B, C, D, E, and F. Okay? Remember that our points are labeled first our x value, then our y value. Okay? So let's do A together. First I figure out how many over am I going on my x-axis, and we always start at 0. Okay? Well, I'm actually not going over at all. I'm staying here, so my first number is going to be 0. And then I count, am I going up or down? I'm going up, so it's going to be positive. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? B is right here, so I have to go over. Again, I always start at 0. I have to go over 1, 2, 3. Since I'm going to the left, it's negative, so it'd be negative 3. And then I'm going up 2. 1, 2. It's positive because I'm going up. So again, remember positive, positive, negative, negative. Okay? Do C, D, E, and F, and then check to make sure that you got them correct. Okay, C, we go 1, 2, 3 over, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So C is 3, 5. D is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and up 0. So D is 6, 0. E is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we go to the left, which is negative. So negative 7. And then down 1, 2, 3. We're going down, so it's negative 3. And then F, we're going over. I remember I went over 6 for D, so one more is 7. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down. So we went over to the right 7 and then down 7. All right. How do we find the distance between 2 points? There's a couple different ways, but since we're all experts at the Pythagorean theorem, we are going to use the Pythagorean theorem to find our distance. So we have 2 points. First, we need to graph our points. So we have 4, 3, which tells me I go over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up 3, 1, 2, 3. So here's my dot. And then I have 1, 1, so it tells me I go over 1 and then down 1. So here's my dot right here. Okay? I want to figure out, let's do a different color here, the distance from here to here. Okay? Well, the way that I can do that is to make a triangle. So let's find a different color here. I want to make my line just a little bit thinner. So as you can see, I have a diagonal line right here. If I can make a right triangle by looking at a leg here and a leg here. So what I'm going to do, oh, that's kind of hard to see, is I'm going to draw a line here and then a line to make the rest of my triangle. Okay, and we need to redo this in red so it can show up a little better. So I have that, and I have that. Okay, because we have 2 straight lines, and again, we know it's a right triangle because we have our right angle right here. Okay, because we have a straight line, we can count the distance from this point to this corner. I just go 1, 2, 3, 4, so I know that it's a distance of 4. Okay, and then from here I'm going 1, 2, 3. Okay, because I'm starting at this line right here and I'm counting how many numbers or units I'm going over to get to my next, or to get to the end of the line. So I'm starting here, so I'm not counting this one. I'm counting 1, 2, 3. It's just like jumping on a number line. You don't count the one you start with and then you count how many jumps you go. Okay? And then to recap this, we start here and we go 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 and we have 3. Okay? And then this is going to be our C because it's our hypotenuse. Okay? So to solve, then we can use the Pythagorean theorem. We're given both of our legs. 3 and 4 are our legs. So remember, A and B are our legs. So we have 3 squared plus 4 squared equals C squared. And then we know, this will be a little bit quicker, we know that 9 plus 16 equals C squared. 16 plus 9 is 25 equals C squared. And then we have to take the square root. So we take the square root of both numbers and we get C equals 5. So the distance right here then would be 5. Okay? I want you to try number 16 on your own. So do it, actually don't do it because I forgot you don't have graph paper, or if you do, you can try it on your own. I'm going to have you try the next one on your own, and I'm just going to have you draw a graph on your piece of paper. So let's do one more together here. So we have 3, 2. So I start at 0. I always start at 0. I'm going positive 3. Positive is to the right, so 1, 2, 3, and then positive 2, 1, 2. Okay? Here, I start at 0, I'm going over 0, so I'm not going anywhere, and then I'm going down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then this is my line. And then let's change our color. See if that shows up. So now I'm going to create the rest of my triangle in order for us to solve the distance between those 2 points. Okay, so this is our C. Oops, I forgot that's bigger. And then we can count here. We start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we start here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we solve then, because again, we're not told what the hypotenuse is, so that's our C. We have 3 squared plus 6 squared equals C squared. So we have 9 plus 36 equals C squared. 36 plus 9 is 45 equals C squared. Then we take the square root of both. I saw some of you forgetting to take the square root. So we have C equals, and our direction up here says round to the nearest tenth if necessary. So I'm going to look on my calculator. Square root of 45 equals 6.7. Okay? And then we're going to do this one together. And this one will be confusing to not do on graph paper, so just follow along with me, please. So we have -4 and 3.5. So my dot, I'm going to make it nice and big so we can see it. -4, so I start at 0, go over 4 to the left because it's negative, and then we go up 3.5. 1, 2, 3. This is 4, so 3.5 would be right in the middle. This one I go over 2. 1, 2, up 1.5. 1.5. Okay? So my line is going to be from here to here. And then I'm going to create my triangle. So we'll go from here to here and here to here. Okay? So we want to figure out the distance from these 2 points, which is our hypotenuse. So that is going to be my C value. Okay? And then I know that my legs, I can use the Pythagorean theorem again. My legs, which hug the right angle, we can find out. Well, we know that, so we're at half, we're right in between. So from here to our line is 0.5. Then we have a whole jump, so we're at 1.5, and then we have another 0.5. So this is 2 total jumps. And then here we're going from line to line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Because I'm not told what C is, that's our hypotenuse, so we write it as 2 squared plus 6 squared equals C squared. Okay, so 2 squared is 4, 6 squared is 36, equals c squared. 36 plus 4 is 40 equals c squared. Take the square root of both, and you're left with c equals, then we have the square root of 40 is, and we round it to the nearest tenth, so I hope that you're checking this on your calculator, is 6.3, approximately. So we would write it as approximately 6.3, and then we can fill it in there. And that makes sense because if we have a length of 2 and 6, then our hypotenuse would be about that size. Okay, for extra practice, I want you to solve this problem in your notebook. I'm going to make it really quick here. So if we're given a triangle, and it's a right triangle, of course, and it has a length of, here's our right triangle to prove that it's a right triangle. If it has a leg of 7 inches and a hypotenuse of 10 inches, I want you to find what B is, how many inches, rounded to the nearest tenth, what B is, and then I will be checking your notebooks for your answer. So solve using the Pythagorean theorem. 7, this is a B, and 10. And then don't forget to go on to Naiku and do the 3-7 quiz.